I don't remember when I got my first tattoo. I think it was like last year. Actually, it was in Freshers.
I got my first tattoo a little over a year ago.
I got my first
back in
tattoo
October
on the
2017.
2018, so this
And
year.
I got it
Yes.
And,
I had thought for a while after I turned 18 about what I could get and symbolize. I just like the idea of being able to express yourself in just like having some sort of artwork permanently on you, just like sort of like a reminder of something that informed the person you were at that time in your life.
That was when Little Peep died. I've got one on a stick and poke on my ankle, half done burning church because like fuck religion in it. Like. It's more a socially accepted way of self-harming, I guess.
the first one I got is a white rose on my leg here, and I got it. Rose is my favourite flower, and also I got it in memory of my mum. She died when I was quite young, and that was her favourite flower as well. And then I have a second one which I got in October of this year, which is a shamrock here, and I got it on a trip to Dublin as a whim.
My sunflower one is I like sunflowers because there's this quote from a poem called The Sun and Her Flowers by Ruby Kaur, and she talks about how sunflowers always face the sun. Even though they don't live very long, they'll always try and live in positivity, and I kind of like that sort of lifestyle for myself because that's how I always like to be. My favourite is my most recent one, which I got in South Korea, and it's my girl here. There's not really a meaning towards it. She's just a very pretty girl. And I just like the aesthetic of it, and I like the detail.
Me and my sister are both complete opposites. Like, mine's fire, hers is water. So we kind of play on that dynamic. Like, you know, she's got ice blonde hair, I have red hair, and we just thought, well, you know, we might as well elaborate on that, I guess, and permanently ink it onto our skin to sort of show it off.
Of course, I love tattoos. I think every time I like find an artist or like a piece of work that I want on my body forever, I enjoy like having that on my body. My first tattoo I got on my 18th birthday, literally on my birthday, and it was a light bulb. If I can get it out, it's here. And that was my first.
I'll explain what it is first. So I have a half moon and half sun tattoo on my ankle, on my right leg. The meaning behind a sun and moon tattoo is that it represents strength and overcoming, so that like represents things from my past.
Yeah, the music note is just because I like music. But I didn't want a dog tattoo. I don't know. I didn't want to like represent a dog that I've had before. And I love wolves, and it's kind of like a family kind of animal. So to me, it represents my family and my friends because it's a pack animal. So it's like I like my friends and my family, but it also can be like a lone wolf, so I can do things independently by myself.
I have one on my wrist, which is a lavender. That's for my mum. Lavender's always been planted around our family, like houses and stuff. So yeah, I got that for her. I've also got 4 hearts on my collarbone, which are me and my sisters, and the third one's coloured in, and that's which one I am.
I've been wanting tattoos since I was about 14. I now have the ability to tattoo myself, so I kind of just grew from there. And then people were like, oh, can you tattoo me too? And I'm like, I guess, but don't blame me if it goes wrong. But it never did go wrong. I started tattooing originally because one of my exes asked me to tattoo them, and I was like, well, I guess I'll give it a shot, because tattooing's always been something I was interested in, but I was like too young to get a tattoo. The tattoo community is interesting. Most of my interaction with the tattoo community comes from like Instagram. I've had really nice encounters with tattoo artists, especially like smaller ones, but I've had a couple instances where I've got into like arguments with tattoo artists, especially like bigger ones, because they've done a piece of like work that's kind of like problematic in its subject area. So like someone tattooed like a picture of Woody Allen on someone, and I'm like, that's kind of a bit not okay. So I was just like, hey, you know, like your style, but this isn't okay. And there was just like floods and floods of comments of just like, oh, you're so wrong, you don't, you know, it's just a tattoo. And it's like, but I think the majority of the tattoo community in terms of like artists is pretty cool. I feel like there's less of a community centered around like having tattoos, because especially like for like all my friends, like it was just something that happened. Like you turned 18 and you went to go get a tattoo. Like we used to do it on our lunch breaks at sixth form. We'd be like, oh, lunch, let's get a new tattoo. So it's like a really casual thing.
When someone who hasn't got a tattoo sees someone who does, they kind of, you know, stop them and ask like, oh, what was it like? You know, how do you feel having something on your skin that you can never get off? And I just think, you know, everyone's really curious about that kind of thing, so it kind of spreads awareness in a way.
A couple came up to me, I was like buying something in, I don't know, a Matalan or whatever, and they came up to me behind me and they literally tapped me on the shoulder. I thought it was because they thought I worked there, but they were like, oh, we really like your tattoo, because in some shirts it pokes out the top because it's on my back, near my neck. And they were like, oh, we really like it. Our daughter wants to get one. Where did you get yours from?
Yeah, I've had that the hearts on my collarbone look like the Mario lives, so that's one I've had quite a lot.
My dad didn't talk to me for 4 days after getting it, so that was interesting. And they find out I have a tattoo. It's like, oh, you're not the type to get a big rose on your leg. So
I've had a lot of very interesting reactions, especially coming from an Indian family where we're very conservative, but my mum kind of gave up after tattoo number 2.
Definitely, because when I got my tattoos, my brother went crazy, and then I was like, I'm paying for your tattoo.
They've all been positive reactions. People, I mean, at the end of the day, people can have an opinion or not, and that's their own. Because some people really love tattoos, some people really don't like them, and that's my body at the end of the day, so I'll just do what I want and they can think whatever they want.
No, the people who I like choose to surround myself with don't really judge me or like affected by that. If anything, it's inspired more friends to get tattoos.